Koby, you're 3 for 3 from 3, and then you put up the 4th, and I think you turned around. I think it was still on the way up. You turned around and started talking. What's the feeling there?
Yeah, that's what everybody's talking about in the locker room right now. It kind of just sometimes it just happens throughout the season, like off instincts. I told them I don't really plan on doing that stuff, but sometimes it just happens and it gets the crowd going a little bit, so it's fun.
Do you know for sure that it's going in, or do you
To be honest, I only do that when I know for sure that the shot's going in, but I still had to. I was talking to the guy in the crowd that I was looking at after his shot because after I took the shot, I was looking at him to confirm that it went in. So once I saw he started cheering, I was like, we're good.
Did you say anything to him, or did you?
I didn't. I was literally just waiting for his reaction.
Koby, how important is it when everybody on this team can shoot like they can and you guys really get it going? It seems like you can just put it off in spurts, just at a high clip. I know you shot well, but it just seems like the whole team right now. Otega, perfect from the three-point line. A couple other guys. How important is that?
It's super important, especially for the way that we play in our offense. And, individually is a blessing because a lot of us are going to get open shots that we don't normally get. And then as a team, it's really hard to guard, our actions. And when we're able to shoot at that, at that level, it's really hard to guard.
Last year, you were the top three-point field goal percentage leader in Division I. Tonight, there's so many other dudes on your team that can shoot, like we just talked about. Have you experienced that before? Because it seems like it opens you up a lot more when they don't know who it's coming from.
Yeah, I have not experienced this, and I'm loving it. Yeah, I really am, just because I got 2 basically wide open shots, and I'll never get that. You know what I mean? So for me, it's a blessing, and then just like you said, we have other guys that can do it too. So on any night, anybody could light it up. And that's the blessing of our team for sure.
Koby, what's it like to play on a team where the bigs are such good passers? The backup center tonight took 5 assists. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, it's big time, really. Especially for the way we play. Our big men, they're like our second point guards on the floor. So everybody's seen Amari do it, but now y'all get to see BG doing it too. So I'm glad that they're able to show and showcase what they're able to do.
When you envision kind of how this first game would go, was this kind of how you expected, wanted? Any surprises?
I don't think I ever looked to the outcome of the game. I'm more just think about how we prepare for it. Thinking about the game plan, the scout. Our coaches do a great job of scouting and taking away action that the other teams want to do and what we want to do to them. So I don't really focus too much on the outcome. Just kind of stay focused on what we have to do as a team.
That's a Mark Pope. That's a Mark Pope response. Does he have an effect?
Just being real.
How cool is it that you guys won tonight? Mark Pope's first win by 41 points.
I'm so happy and proud for him, man. Y'all get to see how much of an amazing dude he is, but just to see him accomplish that as a coach, in this place, this place is super special to him. I know that y'all all know that because he speaks about it all the time, but us as players, we get to see it every day, how passionate he is about winning here. And for him to do that today, it's amazing to see.
What about it being by 41 points, his jersey number?
Yo, that's crazy, man. We was talking about that in the locker room, too. It's unbelievable, man. Some things are just God writes it, and it's really unbelievable, honestly. Happy for him.
You have a lot of experience in that 6-man role over your career. What are you thinking about in those first 2-3 minutes of the game, and has that kind of evolved since maybe you were younger?
Yeah, I think my approach has definitely changed with time. Now I get to see how it's kind of like a head start for me. I get to see what's going on the floor, how they're guarding, the intensity. I get to see all those things. So by the time I check into the game, I kind of know what to expect. So it's definitely good.
Do you like that role, especially on a team like this where there are so many weapons in you?
I'll take any role, man. I'm a team player. I always say whatever the coaches want from me, that's what I'm going to do. So I'll accept any role.
Did you notice on your threes that they didn't hit the rim? They were straight through?
I did, but it's good to know that for sure. So I appreciate you, mentioning that.
How much on the threes, though? Obviously, you want to make them all, but do you try to, you get them as you get them, but you didn't touch any orange today?
Honestly, man, I focus on every shot the same. Every shot, I'm confident about it. I'm just waiting to see the results, really, but when I have a team like this that's willing to share the ball, it kind of becomes easy. I'm taking a lot of open shots right now, and that's something I'm not used to, but I'm enjoying it for sure.
How much crap are y'all going to give Lamont for missing that dunk?
Oh, man. That's something that we're going to have a talk about for sure. He's definitely off 2 jumping. So I think, if he would have jumped off 2, he probably could have got a windmill or something crazy. But, it happens. It's part of the game. You don't really get to plan out how everything's going to go. So.
Was there anything in the post-game locker room that Coach Pope pointed to, like, hey, do better at this, we can do better at this, or was it all, like, for the time being, pretty positive?
It was pretty positive today, just on, with the big accomplishment that he had. As soon as he walked in, we all splashed him and everything. So it was just a lot of joy in the room, honestly.
What was that scene like? Were we all just kind of waiting for him to come?
Yeah, we was waiting for him, and in some reason, I guess there was a snitch in the locker room or something, because he knew that it was coming, and he ended up wetting us. So I don't know what happened there, but we still got him a little bit. It was a lot of fun.
He came out with like a water bottle?
Yeah, he came splashing us, and we're like, what? Messed up everything for us.
I feel like one of the coaches told him that he was going to do that, so he came in with his water bottles ready and was just kind of throwing the water everywhere. But, it's great to have that memory of the guys, that feeling. So, yeah, that was great.
When you were maybe envisioning how this game would play out tonight, did it meet your expectations, or were there any surprises?
I don't think there was any surprises. With this team, anyone can, do anything on any given night, whether it's the group who did it today is not going to be the same on Saturday. So just knowing that anyone can do that and just having fun out there, having energy, playing for the guys, that's the only thing I expect from every game. So.
At what point did you know for sure you were going to play in this game?
Yesterday in practice.
Yesterday in practice,
yeah.
When you were able to go most of the time.
Yeah, I did the first couple drills, and I was feeling good. Did the rest of practice, and I was like, yeah, I should be right there.
Was it knee? Was it right knee?
Yeah, it was my knee. Okay, so.
Amari, how special is it to get a double-double in your first real game in Rubber League?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't realize till halftime until one of the coaches told me I had 9 rebounds. So I was like, at that point, I gotta go for it. So, but yeah, it's great to do that. Just be able to crash the balls, and my teammates find me on offense and blocks and stuff. So yeah, it was
your reputation is as a great passer. But Brandon had 5 assists tonight.
Yeah.
What have you seen from him?
I mean, that's something we know he's always been able to do. He's been a great passer even throughout the whole of summer. So that doesn't surprise none of us at all. So.
From your vantage point, what is it like watching Otega and Lamont and the havoc that those guys kind of cause out in front?
Yeah, I mean, you see teams don't really have that many layups. It's hard to get inside, especially since you got Lamont and Otega on the perimeter just causing havoc. So it kind of makes everyone else's job easier, lets them be in the gap more and things like that. So just having them two just changes the whole dynamic on defense, really. So.
I'm sure you've been asked this multiple times tonight, but Mark Pope talked about your ability to run the floor, get the break started, and how it causes mismatches for the other team. Just how important is that part of your game for this team when you can go ahead and start the break or start the ball up the floor, and your ability to pass within that break as well?
Yeah, I mean, we're a fast-paced team. We got fast point guards, Kerr and Lamont. They just push the ball any given moment. But if I get a rebound and go, the teams ain't really expecting me to go, and it's just easier to find a shooter's kick ahead. Someone's going to be ahead of me, and I know that at any given moment. So just knowing that kind of gives me confidence to just push the ball, really. So.
Have you always had that kind of freedom? To play in transition?
Yeah, I would say so, especially at my old school, too. That's something I did a lot, and something he noticed when he was recruiting me, too. So.
When you were picking Kentucky, how much of the factor was that so much of the offense runs through the 5-man?
Yeah, I think the Mark Pope offense is something that fits me perfectly, so that's something what really stood out, and yeah, that's one of the reasons. Yeah.
Amari, can you just talk about how physical you guys were tonight? Talking, the Wright State coach, that was one of the main things that he pointed out was you guys obviously are a great shooting team, but he was surprised about how physical you were guys defensively, and that really slowed down their game plan.
Yeah, I mean, that's just something we've always kind of, in practice, fouls don't get called, so just, playing through that and just, being able to go out there and do it without fouling too. I don't think we fouled a lot tonight, but, it helps us, and it just shows that, kind of stand out ground, play team defense, and it helps us also.
Going back to Otega,
in terms of getting up and down, sticking with the things we do. So, I mean, I was just proud that we just stick to our plan and just continue to execute.
Yeah. I take it everybody has kind of hopes and expectations for the first time out there. And the season opener, did this meet some of those for you, or were there any surprises?
Nah, there was no surprises. I mean, at this point, I'm a junior right now, so I'm really just going out there to just win and compete every single night. So this was just step number 1, really. So it was a great experience, and I'm just happy we got to win.
Can you touch on what it was like playing in front of the Blue Nation for the first time in a regular season game, and what do you hope to do going forward in terms of your three-point shooting and driving, just overall performance, confidence-wise?
I would say just playing in front of BBN, it was huge. I mean, they were electric. Like even now, they just still out there just waiting for the post game and all that stuff. Like it's huge. I've never been a part of nothing like that. So that just kind of feeds into the energy and just us going out there playing hard. So that was just big for me. But then in terms of like my game, just staying confident and just trusting my work, put in a lot of work in the offseason. So I'm just going to continue to do the things that I worked on really.
When you're talking about your game, obviously your brother in the NFL, how much of an impact has that had really on how you play and your physicality that you bring out?
I would definitely say that plays a big role. Even before you got to the NFL, like obviously we're an athletic household. I got two brothers that play sports, so we had all these battles and stuff like that. And when you're the youngest, you don't want to be last in that, so you got to play with an extra chip and edge. So that definitely played a factor. And then obviously he a pro in his field, and I want to be a pro in my field. So I mean that's just fuel for me to just get to that point eventually.
Do you and Lamont ever talk about shutting down the opposition on the perimeter? Because it looks like both of you have that edge in that.
Yeah, we do for the most. We do a little bit, but that's his DNA. Like we don't even gotta talk about it. We just know, like we just trying to lock up whoever is against or on the other side. Really.
Do you guys ever have like a competition about who's going to lock up better this game or who's going to get more steals?
We haven't done that yet, but we've done that a couple times in practice. So eventually we're gonna do that for sure because it's fun. Just know you got another teammate that plays defense just like you, that's willing to go out there and be.
Everyone, parking lots, the gates are closed. The only way you can get out is towards the Langley Garage.
Sheesh.
Did you drive here?
I did. Yeah.
That's good information then.
Yeah. Dang, okay.
What is it about Pope's offense that seems to have kind of opened up your game even more than maybe you weren't able to do in the past in a certain situation?
I would say the space, because we have so many. We always have shooters on the floor, so you have to obviously pay attention to them and just be aware. So that just opens up the lanes really. And then on top of that, I feel like he could just kind of unlock just the confidence in everybody because he tells you to shoot. Doesn't matter if you airball or if it goes outside the backboard. If you open, shoot it. So I mean, I would say that's different in terms of just him just always being confident.
In those moments when you guys are sharing minutes and guys are cheering for each other from the bench and whoever's on the court, who do you really like watching when you're out of the game and the way they play?
Shoot, the Kentucky boys, Trent and Travis. I mean, just seeing how everyone cheers for them, and I know they killers, like they snipers. So whenever they always gonna be ready to step onto the court, but just always seeing it, just being able to see them play and get on the court and then see the whole crowd just go crazy and support them. I mean, it's
hear those students chanting for Trent.
Yeah, right. That was crazy. I know if he was to hit one of them shots, the roof would have exploded. So just being able to see that and see how, BBN loves their own people, so it's huge.
Can you describe the scene in the post-game locker room when Coach Pope walked in there?
Yeah, someone must have told him because he was kind of prepared. He kind of splashed us back. He had some water in his hand too, so someone told him. But it was just great being a part of that for him because that's big for him. First win in Rupp, won by 41. That's his number. Like that's something that you're not gonna forget ever. So I'm just glad I was able to be a part of that with him.
He was talking about parts of the brain and science and everything. Are there ever are there conversations he has where you go, I got to go to Google and figure out what this is?
Even today in a walkthrough, I forget, he said some word. Like we was doing scouting, he said some word, and I had to ask him, what does that mean? And he knew literally right after. He was like, do y'all know what that word is? And we all said no. He had to break it down, but he's just so smart. Not even just basketball wise, just he's just intelligent in every aspect. So
remember what the word was?
It starts with a B. I forget. It was a big word. It was a big word. Yeah. But if you ask him, he'll know.
Otega, what kind of emphasis has been put on the intensity on the defensive end? Wright State's coach in his press conference was talking about how that's what stood out to him was your all's intensity on the defensive end.
You know, just being aggressive on both sides of the ball, I would say. But defense, you know, I kind of said it earlier. We're so good on offense that a lot of teams probably think that we're not good at defense. So just playing with that edge on our shoulders, knowing that we have 3 great defenders, and then on the court we have 5 great defenders as well. But we just got to show that we can hold our own and that we can really stand out on the defensive end as well.